Hey, it's Travel Jiggler and this is Any Boss. Any Boss is 850 kilometers by road from Joburg and about 580 kilometers from Cape Town. The nearest urban center of significance is Beaufort West, which is about 120 kilometers by road from the site. So once in a while we come across a place that's really cool, really unique, and at the outset I'd like to say that we really enjoyed our stay here. There are 3 accommodation options, 2 caravans and a permanent tent. So you can have a group of friends or a large family to occupy the entire site. When we were there, my significant other and I were the only people on the site and we chose to stay in one of the caravans. There's a beautifully laid out braai and chill area. It's kind of the central area where you can hang out and braai, and it also has a sunken fire pit which is really nice for this chilly winter nights. You'll find a gas fire lighter with these, which makes it really easy to start your braai fire or your fire in the fire pit. And this is one of those little details amongst many other little details that makes this a really cool spot. Both firewood and charcoal are supplied, which is very convenient. The bathrooms are excellent. Hot water is supplied by a gas-fired system for a nice hot shower. There is of course a flush toilet and a wash basin too. The site has a well-equipped open air type kitchenette with I think basically everything that you would require for self-catering. This includes a 2-plate gas stove, a fridge for all your perishables, a wash basin with cold and hot water, and all the typical cutlery, crockery, glassware and stuff that you might practically require. Lighting electricity is provided via solar system, so there is lighting in the caravans and the tents and along the pathways and in the braai area as well. There's a hammock for some lazy afternoon reading if you're so inclined. One of my favorite features is the splash pool, which fits in very nicely into the natural surrounds. So it's a splash pool that looks out onto the open veld. In addition, there's seating and some shade as well as a braai, which is nice because that means you can chill out at the pool. In addition to wood and charcoal, there are some basic things that you can get from the site on an honesty type system, and that's mostly meat and soft drinks and a couple of alcoholic drinks as well. Other than that, you've got to bring most of your consumables with you. Maritzburg is relatively close to the site. However, it's a very small town and I suppose there isn't really much there in terms of shops and supermarkets and so on. So the nearest big town, as I said earlier, is Beaufort West, and that's about 120 kilometers away. So you do want to bring all your stuff with you to the site when you arrive. The caravan we stayed in was pretty amazing. This is not the typical sort of accommodation that we would go for. We would normally camp, for example, and in fact I've never been in the caravan, so this was quite a new experience. So this is an authentic retro caravan with all the little details that actually work, and there are some tasteful modern updates to it as well. So there's a bed and some storage space, and there's a gas oven and a basin, as well as a little chill out area where you can sit down. It's really quite nifty the way it's been put together with a lot of attention to detail and very good use of the space. The booking process is fairly straightforward via Airbnb, and I'll leave a link below in the description so that you can go directly to the site. The place is really well managed and we found the owners to be very accommodating, and in fact really impressively we had a bit of mechanical trouble with the car and they went out of their way to try and assist us, so we really appreciate that. So in addition to the facilities themselves, that is something that made our stay really that much nicer. Driving to the site via the highway is of course all tarred road, and the final 7 kilometers after you turn off the highway is dirt road. It's in pretty reasonable condition. You don't need a special type of vehicle to traverse this or to traverse to get onto the site. In fact, an average city sedan would work as long as it has sensible clearance. So what kind of traveler or adventurer is this for? I think this will suit a wide variety of people. If you like being out in a nice quiet place that has natural sort of tranquil surrounds, this is a really great spot. It's self-catering accommodation of course, but it's well set up and you don't really have to bring very much with you other than the obvious basics like food and so on. I have to say that this site is really well thought out and really well executed amongst the natural trees and the naturally occurring features of the place. The paved stone pathways and the incorporation of the trees that are naturally growing there, as well as the water feature, give this place quite a distinctive feel. I enjoyed the quietness and the birds, and the name Inibos is a really apt name for this place. So would I recommend Inibos? Absolutely, without a doubt. And I really have to commend the owners on the detail and the effort that they've gone into. I hope you found this informative. If you did, hit the like button. Also put a comment in the comments below. If you have a question, then hit me up in the comments below as well. And if you haven't subscribed already, then please do subscribe. And until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything, have a great time.